The Joe Rogan Experience.
So, have you communicated with anybody that has any thoughts on what these things are doing, or whether or not there's any consistency to the size of them, or whether or not they think they're coming out of a larger object, or anything along these lines?
No. You know, you can ask, well, because I was asked, you know, what do you think they were doing? You know, and I said, you can look. Well, they were observing, you know, because they're coming down and watching. Number two is they were communicating, because I think, you know, in my heart, I think there was something under the water. I don't, you know, what it was doing there. But when we went back,
because of when you saw the X, the cross-looking thing. Explain that again. So the disturbance seemed to be in the shape of a cross?
Yeah, like I describe it as it's about the size of a 737. So just think if you submerge the 737, pointing it to the east underwater by like, you know, 10, 15 feet. So as these waves are coming across, when they, you know, they hit that object, they're going to break on top, just like you would with a submerged, like a seamount. So, and they're breaking it, and that's where the Tic Tac was at. That's the only reason we saw the Tic Tac. That's what drew our eyes down there, is we see this white water when it's a perfectly clear day with no white caps, and you go, whoa, what's that? And then you see the Tic Tac, and then we do all the chasing of the Tic Tac, and we turn, we're right there, and we turn around, and there's no white water. It's just blue as far as you can see. So at that point you go, okay, what was it doing? Because there was obviously something there that's not there now. So that's where I say, well, it was observing us. It could have been communicating with whatever was there. You know, and then someone else looked at me and said, you know, I was talking to Lou, and he goes, what about prepping the battlefield? I go, okay. You know, so if you go, you know, where are these things from? We don't know. You know, are they from China, Russia, someplace else? I don't know. But it's a capability that we do not possess, to my knowledge. And if you ask me in 2004, because there's a lot of guys go, well, maybe it's some secret government program. I go, all right, well, let's be honest. One, if you have a propulsion system that gave the capabilities that we observed visually, that's a huge leap for mankind, period. So you would say, yeah, it was, you know, think about it. It's going to be 15 years next month that we saw this. I would like to think that, okay, maybe let's just say in 2004 it was something, somebody had this, some government had this, I don't, ours, whatever. If you come to now, you go 15 years later, you don't think that technology would have emerged, because it literally would change everything we do. I mean, we're happy about, you know, hybrid and electric cars and all this other stuff, but if you've got something that works like that, air travel, it would change air travel forever.
No visible system of propulsion. No plumes.
No, it's just as we joke. Think of a 40-foot long Tic Tac that can move at will through the air at speeds well beyond what we've ever witnessed. I mean, even when you watch a rocket go off, you know, one of Elon's or one of the NASA, whatever, you know, you sit there and I grew up during the Apollo ages, where you just look at the thing go up, 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 up. I've seen them shot out of Vandenberg, where you go, you know, I'd sit in my house in Central California and you watch it go up and go, oh, you can watch that thing for a while. This is something that just like poof, in a matter of seconds is gone. Now,
are other pilots or other people that have sighted these things, have they also reported something larger that's in the water near it?
No.
No.
Not the ones I've talked to. I mean, I think, you know, you can get on History Channel. There's all kinds of stuff on there about people talking about stuff. But, you know, here's the question is, what do you believe, what do you not believe? And, you know, my biggest frustration is, you know, our incident, and even the folks on the East Coast, it is what it is to us. There's no reason to embellish. There's no reason to make stuff up. But yet there's still groups of people that are making stuff up. Like someone came out on ours, was talking about, and he's like, oh, I saw the whole video is 10 minutes long, and it was doing all this. It's bullshit. What you see is that's literally the entire video. It's 1.5 minutes long. I think it's about 1.5 minutes long. What people haven't seen that I saw, I mean, I've seen the radar tapes because I had them. It was my squadron. You know, I've heard, you know, the Men in Black show, you know, you know, maybe okay, I'll give you the credit if they did, but why wouldn't they show up and talk to the guys who actually witnessed it, chased it, and is one of the senior guys in the battle group?
Right. And it's also possible that Men in Black stuff was something that they used to do back in the day, and that program was no longer continued. And you know, from Jeremy, you would know this, the older sightings, when they go back into the day, into historical sightings, and not Columbus, but, you know, like in the 50s and 60s, did they have similar things that they talked about where something moved in this manner?
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible, and I want to dumb this down because that's how I had to understand it. When I was talking with Commander Fravor years before, I kept his secret, years before the New York Times blew it up, I told him it was probably going to happen. It wasn't by me. We were talking about it. This system that we have seen for over 70 years, just documented by our military, this is so important. This is a non-reactionary field propulsion system. Everything we know is a reactionary propulsion system. You push something out the back, it goes forward. This is not like a mag system. This is a gravitational field propulsion system. And throughout history, our military has documented them, and there has been ridicule. And I'll tell you exactly why. 1952, there was a huge flyover of Washington, D.C. Jets were scrambled. All the papers covered it. It's a very famous, case everybody can look up. It's an important case because at that time, a policy was started. And that policy started because it crashed our communications. The teletypes went down. The panic of the UFOs that were being seen by people with fighter pilots trying to capture and trying to engage them. And it crashed the teletypes. So our government was like, oh, that's not happening again. Because Russia could use that as a scare tactic. So this policy of denial, don't look here, nothing to see, move on, UFOs are fake. That's what Project Blue Book was tasked to do specifically. The guy that ran it admitted that it was tasked to debunk this and demystify the UFO thing.
That's J. Allen Hynek, correct?
Right. J. Allen Hynek. He was once asked by a friend of mine, do you have the smoking gun? I'll give you this document. It's pretty amazing. It's an Air Force manual where they explain what they know about UFOs at that time in 1967. But here's the point. Yes, this has been going on since the beginning of recorded human history. These propulsion systems that are captured on footage, that is confirmed now by the Pentagon, like Commander Fravor's experience. This technology is not ours. It was here 70 years ago. You're talking about 15 years ago. We would see it now. These exact things at 20,000 miles an hour going on 70 years ago documented. Somebody has a non-reactionary field propulsion system. Now, are they aliens or some subsect of humans? Somebody has them. And they're flying through our airspace with impunity, and pilots like Commander Fravor, who, by the way, defended Los Angeles after 9/11. I mean, this is a guy we put all of our trust in. He was defending Los Angeles right after 9/11. So we got people like him coming forward saying, I saw this. And you got internet warriors being like, it's a bird, it's a glitch, it's Superman.
Let's not concentrate on them.